Welcome to the Beyond Bloated podcast. I'm Carly, a certified health coach helping women ditch their bloat without having to follow super strict and stressful protocols. As someone who's struggled with all sorts of digestive issues for over 5 years, I know exactly how you're feeling. I also know that there's a way to feel better, and it doesn't have to involve tons of expensive supplements and insanely restrictive diets. Join me as I share all of my bloat-busting wisdom to help you say goodbye to that bloated belly and regain your confidence. It's time for you to move beyond bloated. Today's topic is a juicy one, guys. This was actually requested by one of my listeners, so shout out to Claire. Thank you for requesting this topic, and if you listening have a topic that you want me to cover, send me a text using the send me a text link in the show notes. Reach out to me on Instagram, send me a DM at beyond.bloated, or email me, carlyclose@beyondbloated.com. Tell me your topic request, and I may be making an episode dedicated to you. Birth control is a big one because according to Statistics Canada, oral contraceptives are among the medications most frequently used by Canadian women, 3/4 of whom take oral contraceptives at some point in their lives. And when I say oral contraceptives, we're referring to hormonal contraceptive pills, aka the birth control pill, which contain both estrogen and a progestin, or the pills that contain just progestin. Thing that riles me up most about this topic is that it is one of the most frequently prescribed medications to women, yet we are not informed of the side effects. At least I wasn't, and the majority of the women that I speak to about this topic also were not informed. I am a big believer in making your own decision. Okay, this episode, I want to make it very clear. This is not me telling you to go on or come off of hormonal birth control. That is completely up to you. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I one time had a woman in my DMs yelling at me because I posted something about how I had no idea that a woman can only get pregnant approximately 7 days out of the month. When we ovulate, that is when we can get pregnant. And I didn't know that until a few years ago. And I was like, this is mind-blowing that I am a woman and I didn't know this about my own body. Like, I'm thinking I have to be on birth control at all times because I could get pregnant at any moment. Meanwhile, that's not how the human body works, especially the female body. And I didn't know that. And I posted this information and she said, "You are going to get teenagers pregnant." And I was like, excuse me? I am posting a fact about the female body. What you choose to do with that information is on you. So in today's episode, that is what I am doing. I am simply providing you with information. I am providing you with scientific evidence, the facts. I am not telling you, go on birth control, come off birth control, discuss that shit with your doctor. That's not on me, okay? I will start by sharing my own experience with birth control, though, because I find that's always helpful to learn about someone else's experience. I went on birth control at the age of 18, and prior to that, I had very painful periods, like stabbing pain. If you are a woman who experiences painful periods, you don't need me to explain it to you. You know what that feels like. So after high school, I went to university. I'm 18 years old. I went on birth control. That definitely masked my painful period symptoms. I was on hormonal birth control for 10 years. So I was on the birth control pill for 8 of those years. And then I switched to a hormonal IUD for the remaining 2 years. And then I came off of it. The reason why I decided to come off hormonal birth control was because I was working on my gut health for years. Timeline here, at 18, I went on hormonal birth control. And then at 24, I developed horrific gut issues. And then from that point on, I was working to improve my gut health because I did not want horrific gut issues for the rest of my life. And then at 28, I was like doing my research on birth control, estrogen dominance, things I'm going to talk about today. And I kind of had this realization of I'm putting all this work into improving my gut health, but I am taking this medication. Well, it was actually inside of my body because I had an IUD at this time. And it's pumping out hormones daily that are counteracting my efforts. So I made the decision, personal decision, to remove my IUD and be done with hormonal birth control. Now, this was not a decision that I took lightly. I had been on birth control for 10 years. And prior to that, I had very painful periods. So I was definitely afraid that when I came off of it, that my periods would be terrible again. Also, really wasn't getting my period anymore because I switched to the IUD, and I specifically got the IUD that stops your period. So I was enjoying not having a period, and I was like, am I really going to come off of this, get my period back, and it might be horrible again? Like, that's a big risk, you know? But again, I did my research, and you're going to hear about it shortly. And I was like, no, I'm trying to improve my health. This is not helping me improve my health. I'm going to come off of it. So I did. And you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. My period came back, and it is super light. It lasts 4 days. I don't even notice when I get my period because there is actually no pain at all. And I really don't care about when I get my period because it doesn't impact my life. Like, I can do activities. I actually got my period yesterday, and I went to the gym and did a full body training session with my baseball team. It doesn't matter to me. And this is because I improved my gut health so significantly before coming off the birth control pill that my body was prepped and ready for this. It was like, yeah, get us off this medication. We got it from here. Looking back, I definitely believe that me being on birth control for so long played a big part in why I developed gut issues, because I was on the pill from 18 to 24, and that is when my gut issues started. And now that I have come off of it, I feel the best that I have in my entire life. Yes, I do believe the birth control pill played a part in my gut health issues, and I'm going to tell you why I believe that is true. So to kick things off, let's talk about the hormone-gut connection. So as we know, the gut is home to trillions of bacteria, which we call the microbiome. Certain gut bacteria play a key role in metabolizing hormones like estrogen. This is managed by a group of bacteria called the estrobolome, which helps regulate estrogen levels in your body. So if we have an imbalance in our microbiome, which is also known as dysbiosis, this can disrupt this process and potentially leads to hormone imbalances like estrogen dominance. And estrogen dominance can cause a whole ton of symptoms, some of which include breast tenderness, uterine fibroids, PMS symptoms like moodiness, irritability, mood swings, PMS-related headaches, acne, heavy or irregular periods, weight gain, specifically around your hips and butt area, PCOS, if you have PCOS, that is a big sign of an estrogen dominance, and of course, digestive issues like bloating. I have also talked extensively about leaky gut, so I won't go into too much detail about what that is, but basically, your gut lining acts as a barrier to protect the body from harmful substances, and when this barrier becomes compromised, aka leaky, it can lead to systemic inflammation in the body. And then this inflammation can interfere with hormone signaling and regulation. The gut and liver also work together to process and eliminate hormones. So if the gut is unhealthy, toxins and excess hormones may not be efficiently excreted, and then they recirculate in the body and contribute again to hormone imbalances. And finally, we have the gut and the brain, which communicate through the gut-brain axis. Stress can disrupt gut function, which leads to imbalances in cortisol, aka our stress hormone. And this affects all other hormones like insulin, estrogen, and progesterone. Cortisol is one of the master hormones. So if your cortisol is out of balance, you bet your ass your other hormones are as well. So that was my very brief explanation, without going into way too much detail, about how our gut health and our hormone health are very much so connected. If you have poor gut health, your hormones are imbalanced. There is no doubt in my mind. So now that we have an understanding of how our gut health impacts our hormone health, I'm going to jump into how hormonal birth control in particular impacts gut health. So number one on the list is how hormonal birth control can alter our gut microbiome, and not in a good way. The way hormonal birth control works is that it introduces synthetic versions of hormones like estrogen and progestin into the body. These synthetic hormones can alter the environment of the gut, affecting which bacteria thrive and which die. And typically, it is the bad guys that thrive and the good guys that die. Over time, this shift can lead to an imbalance in the gut, known as dysbiosis. And I have talked so much about how the majority of gut issues stem from dysbiosis. It is because you don't have a balanced gut microbiome that you are dealing with food sensitivities, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, stomach pain, fatigue, all of the things is usually because you have dysbiosis to some degree. Hormonal birth control has also been linked to increased levels of inflammation in the body. Chronic, low-grade inflammation can disrupt the gut barrier, aka causing leaky gut, and it can disrupt the microbiome, causing dysbiosis. So this favors the growth of the harmful bacteria over the beneficial bacteria. The beneficial guys are dying. Some research suggests that hormonal contraceptives, which is the birth control pill, may decrease levels of lactobacillus species, which is a specific good gut bacteria that helps maintain gut health and prevent overgrowth of harmful bacteria. Because that is one of the main functions of the good gut bacteria. It is to keep the bad in check, because we all have good and bad gut bacteria. That's totally fine and normal. It's when the bad grows out of control that we have a problem. And when you don't have enough good, that allows the bad to grow out of control. And one of those quote unquote bad bacteria is a yeast called Candida. We all have Candida in our body. That is totally normal and fine, but it is when Candida starts to grow out of control that problems arise. And hormonal changes induced by birth control can make the gut and vaginal microbiome more susceptible to yeast overgrowth, aka Candida overgrowth. And this further contributes to dysbiosis, because having an overgrowth of Candida is also a type of dysbiosis. As I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about how gut health and hormone health are connected, I mentioned how the gut microbiome plays a role in metabolizing and excreting hormones, especially estrogen, through the thing called the estrobolome. Hormonal birth control can disrupt this process, potentially leading to the recirculation of estrogen in the body, which further impacts gut health and hormone balance, leading to estrogen dominance. So those are all the ways that the hormonal birth control pill can lead to dysbiosis. And as I said, dysbiosis causes increased bloating, gas, digestive discomfort. It also compromises your gut barrier function, which leads to leaky gut, and that's what causes food sensitivities and autoimmune diseases. Dysbiosis and leaky gut also lead to systemic inflammation throughout the body, which then weakens your immune system, and it makes your hormone imbalances even worse. And then you will develop worse symptoms of PMS, like irregular periods, moodiness, hot flashes, any of the PMS symptoms that you're experiencing. They can get worse, or you can develop new PMS symptoms. If you have been on hormonal birth control in the past or currently, or you suspect you're experiencing leaky gut, period, for any sort of reason, there are some ways that you can support healing that gut lining. So you can, first of all, reduce your inflammatory food intake. So this would be things like minimizing processed, packaged foods, refined sugars, and alcohol. Those are very inflammatory. If you remove those or limit them at least, you're going to notice inflammation drop so significantly. You can also incorporate more gut healing foods. This is a big one. So adding things like bone broth, fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi, and other like fiber-rich vegetables, anything in season, fruits, vegetables in season, those are going to be really healing to the gut. I do also have an entire episode on anti-inflammatory eating. So episode 15 has a list of 7 foods to help you debloat. These are going to be really good to include as well. So I'll link that episode for you. Your diet is definitely going to be very important here, but you also can use targeted supplements. So things like a soil-based probiotic, L-glutamine, and zinc. These are 3 supplements that support gut barrier repair. When I was on my own leaky gut healing journey, I did a lot of probiotics, including like eating fermented foods. Those are probiotics. I drank a lot of bone broth, and I used L-glutamine as a supplement. So this comes in a powder, and you just put it in like a cold beverage in the morning. I add it to my lemon water, and then I drink that up. So those are very good supplements to take for leaky gut. Another big one when it comes to managing leaky gut is managing your stress. Chronic stress exacerbates leaky gut. So if you need to practice stress reduction techniques like meditation or yoga or going for a walk in nature or doing breathing exercises, I also have an episode that I released not very long ago about stress management for the holidays, because the holidays are definitely a stressful time. So I'll link that one as well, because there are tons of stress management techniques in that episode that you can try out. And finally, I highly recommend you work with a professional. Someone like a health coach or a functional practitioner can help you personalize a plan to repair your gut lining. Because there are very general things that you can do on your own for sure, but it's not easy to figure out what those things are, and it's not easy to stick with it. So if you work with someone like myself, that is one of the big things we do in my program. I help you eliminate inflammatory foods, add very gut nourishing foods without feeling restricted. I don't take away your favorite foods. I help you replace them with better versions, and I am constantly checking in with you. So my program is 6 months long, and we have constant contact throughout that 6 months because I want to make sure that the plan we put in place for you specifically is something you can implement and do forever. This isn't like a one-time 6-month program and then you stop doing everything you learn. The point is to implement these things into your life, things that are sustainable for you so that you can continue to do them and you don't just have leaky gut again 6 months after the program because you threw everything out the window that you learned. By addressing leaky gut and dysbiosis and all of its underlying causes, you can reduce inflammation, improve your sensitivity to foods, so you will be able to eat more foods again, and create a foundation for better hormone health, which will help with your periods, your PMS, your moodiness. This is a core focus of my Beyond the Bloating program. So if you are interested, I will link the application down below so you can fill out your application, and then I will get back to you and we will schedule a free 30-minute discovery call where we'll just chat and figure out if we are a good match to work together. Okay, this next one is huge, and I feel like not very many people know this about the birth control pill, but hormonal birth control, especially the birth control pill, depletes several essential nutrients in the body. These deficiencies can have a ripple effect on gut health, overall digestion, and hormonal balance. So I'm going to break down for you all of the nutrients that the pill is depleting from your body. Number one is B vitamins, specifically B2, B6, B9, and B12. The birth control pill reduces levels of B vitamins, which are crucial for energy production, neurotransmitter function, and cellular repair. Here's a little sample of what some of these B vitamins do and what the birth control is taking away from you as it depletes them from your body. So B6 aids in serotonin production, which 95% of your serotonin is made in your gut, by the way. So this affects the gut-brain axis and digestive motility. Deficiency in B6 vitamins may lead to mood disturbances and mental disorders like depression and anxiety, because if you have a lack of serotonin, you are not going to feel happy and good. So you need those B6 vitamins to produce serotonin. Vitamin B9, aka folate, supports DNA synthesis and cell repair. So this is essential for maintaining the integrity of the gut lining, which is the leaky gut that I've been going on about. And a deficiency in folate can hinder gut barrier repair and increase the leaky gut that is happening. And vitamin B12, I feel like it's probably the most commonly known B vitamin. I feel like a lot of people are also deficient in this B vitamin. And if you are on the birth control pill and you have low levels of vitamin B12, that very well could be why, because the birth control pill depletes your body of vitamin B12, and this vitamin is crucial for the production of red blood cells and energy metabolism. Low levels may contribute to fatigue, slowing digestion, and gut motility. So if you are low in B12, you probably feel exhausted all the time. If you are on the birth control pill, you probably feel exhausted all the time. Number 2, we have magnesium. Hormonal birth control lowers magnesium levels, which is a mineral that is vital for over 300 enzymatic processes in the body. I feel like magnesium is now getting the attention that it deserves, and we're all like, we need magnesium, we need magnesium. If you're on the birth control pill, your body is being depleted of magnesium. Few things that magnesium does for our gut. Magnesium is a natural muscle relaxant, so it's essential for smooth muscle function in the intestines. So it helps with gut motility. If you don't have enough magnesium, then you have probably constipation because your muscles in the intestines aren't contracting and helping move the stool along. And then we know that constipation leads to bloating, it leads to gas, it leads to other digestive issues. So you may be constipated because you don't have enough magnesium. Number 3 is zinc. The pill can interfere with zinc absorption and utilization. Zinc is critical for immune health, enzyme function, and tissue repair. I know a lot of people know about when they're sick, take zinc because zinc helps with your immunity. Well, fun fact, your immune system lives in your gut. Zinc also plays a key role in maintaining gut barrier integrity, so it helps prevent leaky gut. Hey everyone, Carly here. If you are tired of feeling bloated and uncomfortable, which I know you are, I have something that can really help. My free ultimate guide to bloat busting. I've been there myself, and I know how frustrating it is to try super restrictive diets and expensive supplements without getting results. If those methods were going to work, they would have worked by now. That's why I created this guide to offer you a different approach. In the ultimate guide to bloat busting, you'll learn techniques to listen to your body and eat with intention, avoiding overeating and choosing foods that truly benefit you, tips for proper hydration to support digestion and reduce bloating, a guide to delicious foods that promote a healthy gut and how to easily incorporate them into your meals, and effective methods to manage stress, which plays a huge role in gut health. These simple, practical strategies can make a big difference in your daily life, helping you feel lighter, more energized, and comfortable in your own skin. Ready to ditch the bloat without strict diets or costly supplements? Download your free copy today at beyondbloated.com/ultimate-guide and start your journey to a bloat-free life. Now, let's get back to it. It also supports the growth of beneficial gut bacteria and reduces gut inflammation. So a deficiency in zinc can weaken the gut lining, causing leaky gut, and that makes us more susceptible to food sensitivities, inflammation, autoimmune diseases, all the things leaky gut causes. Number 4 is vitamin C. The pill may reduce vitamin C levels, which is a powerful antioxidant. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production, which we know is a key component in gut lining repair. Our gut lining is made up mostly of collagen. If you have leaky gut, collagen is in bone broth, which is why I recommend drinking bone broth. But another supplement that you could take is collagen because that's going to help with leaky gut. We also know that vitamin C is great for the immune system. So if we have low levels of vitamin C, that can definitely weaken our immune system. Number 5 is selenium. This is an important antioxidant and is often depleted by hormonal birth control. Selenium supports the immune response in the gut and protects against oxidative stress, which can damage our gut cells. So a deficiency in selenium can worsen inflammation and compromise the gut barrier. So those are 5 nutrients that the birth control pill depletes from your body. And this is not a question. This is not me making shit up. This is a fact. The birth control pill depletes your body of those nutrients. And those nutrients being depleted creates a vicious cycle because then we have poor gut health. And poor gut health hinders nutrient absorption even further. And this is exactly why I said I believe me being on birth control for so long is one of the main reasons why I developed gut issues. I was on the birth control pill for 7 years before my gut issues started. So for 7 years, I was being depleted of all of those nutrients. And our bodies need those nutrients to work properly. So now my digestion is being impaired because I don't have magnesium and I don't have zinc to make stomach acid. So now my body isn't even able to absorb the nutrients from my food on its own, besides the fact that the birth control pill is also depleting them. So now my levels are getting worse and worse and worse until I get to the point where I do not have the nutrients to digest food. I have leaky gut. I have dysbiosis. My stomach issues just blew up and exploded because I hit that breaking point. I also was not living a healthy lifestyle. So it's not like I was getting a ton of nutrients in my diet and I could, spare a few here and there. It's like the little nutrients I was getting, the birth control pill was taking away from me. And yeah, my gut that was it. I could not digest my food. I developed leaky gut, food sensitivities, stabbing pains, bloating, all the things. And it is taking me years to build that back up because I was on birth control for another 4 years after that. So that's why I decided to come off, because after doing my research, I was like, yeah, I'm eating all this nutritious food, but I'm not taking like a zinc supplement, a selenium supplement, all the nutrients that I listed that the birth control pill is depleting me of. So even though I'm eating healthy, the birth control pill is depleting me of the nutrients. So I just felt like my efforts to be healthy and eat a healthier lifestyle and live a healthier life was being negated by this medication that nobody told me the side effects of. So that being said, if you have been on the birth control pill for a long time, you probably also need to replenish those nutrients. So here are some ways you can do that. Obviously, eat a nutrient-dense diet. Include things like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, lean proteins, all the things with tons of nutrients to help replenish the depleted nutrients. You can also use a supplement to help fill in some gaps. So I believe food first, but if you are still on birth control, you might need a little extra because the pill is depleting you of those nutrients. So something like a magnesium glycinate, a B complex, a zinc. But again, please work with a professional. Don't just add supplements to your diet willy-nilly. Since birth control can also cause dysbiosis and leaky gut, you may need to take a probiotic or a digestive enzyme to optimize nutrient uptake. Because as I just went on my rant, you probably have poor gut health, which is limiting your ability to absorb nutrients from your nutrient-rich diet. So something like a digestive enzyme can help you break that down. Probiotic can help replenish the good gut bacteria to get rid of that dysbiosis that's happening. So that could also be another supplement to talk about with the person you are working with. And of course, it is not just about food and supplements. You need to address your stress, your sleep schedule, your movement. You need all of the pieces working together for your gut to work optimally. If you're eating super well, you're taking supplements, but you're hella stressed out and you sleep 5 hours a night and you don't get up for 8 hours during the day while you're working, guess what? Your nutrient absorption and utilization is going to be shit because your gut is not in the right place to be able to do that. All of the pieces matter. It's not just about what you eat and what supplements you take. Once again, the decision is always up to you. You decide what is right for you and your body. I am not telling you one way or the other to be on or not to be on birth control. It took me 10 years to decide to come off of it, and it's because I did my own research. I weighed the pros and cons, and I thought, for myself and what I am trying to achieve with my health, I'm coming off birth control. And honestly, it was a great decision for me. I have great periods. I have energy throughout the whole day. My gut health is the best it has ever been. So yes, I think it was a great decision for me. I'm not making that decision for you. I'm simply here to provide you with the facts, with the information. If you have any questions about anything I said today, feel free to reach out. And whether you are on birth control, you are wanting to come off birth control, whatever your decision is, I would still love to work with you. So I work with women who are on birth control currently and have no desire to come off of it. And I work with women who are in the transition of coming off birth control. And I work with women who are not on birth control and haven't been for years. So it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. There is still work we can do to support your gut health, your hormone health, all the things. So please fill out the application in the show notes. I'll get back to you and we'll schedule our free 30-minute call. And we'll just talk about what your challenges are right now, what you're trying to achieve, what us working together would look like, and make a decision on if it's a good match. I appreciate you tuning into this episode and being open-minded to learn new information, because like I said, this isn't information that is openly available to us women. When we sign up to take the birth control pill, we're not told, hey, by the way, you're going to be depleted of all these nutrients, possibly develop leaky gut and dysbiosis, and then develop a shit ton of gut issues. We don't know that. If I knew that, I wouldn't have signed up. I commend you for sticking through the episode, learning the information, and now please take that, absorb it, and make a decision that's best for you. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to the Beyond Bloated podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review. And don't forget to share this podcast with your fellow gut goddesses. If you'd like to chat about today's episode, send me a DM on Instagram at beyond.bloated. Until next time, bye!